Hi, good evening, folks. In this video, let's take a look at Eric Portillo and Owen Power, how they're doing in Michigan. Coming up. All right, guys, I'm slapping together a bunch of videos today. Today's a busy day. I made a bunch this morning. Well, a bunch. I made 3 this morning. I'm gonna try and make at least another 2 tonight and jump on that goal of 548 before midnight on the 11th. I got to get that done or it's going to drive me nuts. So what I'm going to do in this video, we're going to just take a look at these 2 of our prospects. We're going to look at Portillo and Power just to see how they're doing. We'll look at the numbers, discuss them a little. Won't be a super long video, but I do want to go over maybe some forgotten pieces. Not that we forget them, but you know what I mean. We don't talk much about the guys in Michigan. We're always talking about the guys at the Amherst. I mean, we're looking at the AHL mostly, which is normal. But I do want to go over these 2 and how they're doing, okay? Because I believe both of them are a big part of our future, including Portillo. I do believe. I've said many times in my videos, this could be the man, this could be the guy eventually. Not UPL, it could be Eric Portillo. We don't know for sure how it all pans out in the future, right? So we've got to pay attention to see how these guys are doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at 2 clips, 1 of each. We're going to look at Eric Portillo first. Let's take a look at it. Okay, there you have it. And you can see, if you look at last year, he only played 7 games. And his goals against was a very impressive 1.67. He was 4-1 with a .935 save percentage. So far this year, 21 games. So we're getting more of a feedback of what he's all about now. 21 games, 2.37 goals against, 14-6-1, and a .917 save percentage. And you can look in the top left. You'll see he's 21 years old in September. 6'6", 224 pounds. So Portillo, we've got a big boy here. We've got a guy that if he turns out anything good, anything close to resembling solid in the NHL, we're going to see perhaps a superstar goalie here too. I know we're always talking about Levi, which we should. Levi he's been outstanding. But the guy, I want to go on Portillo because I don't talk enough about him really. His numbers say that this is another stud that we have, and he's a big guy. And I like big goalies if possible. I know Levi's like 5'11". I get it. He's younger. He's going to get bigger too. We are deep in our farm when it comes to goaltending. We are. I would, of course, I would love to get a big name goalie in the draft. I would have. But I do believe we made the right call in retrospect, looking back at it now, because of these guys. We can't just have all these stud goalies because there's only 2 jobs in the NHL. So it's, you know what I mean? We'll have to move them eventually. So right now we're hoping 2 of these 3 guys pan out. It looks like UPL will. He's showing steady goaltending since he's come up this year. Let's face it, guys, he's not come up to the most, impressive situation in Buffalo, really. And UPL has done his job. So I got no problems at UPL. And I would love to get a look at Portillo, if possible, this year too. Because at the end of the season, when their year is done, there'll be time where, COVID barring, that they'll be able maybe to get some time in with some of these young guys. You just never know. I wouldn't mind seeing a game, just one, see what we got here. And, looking at this, we're in good shape. We're in good shape with goaltending, guys. We are. So that's something we got to be a little patient of. We do. We got to be patient. We got to chill. We got to relax because things should be okay in the future with goaltending. I like his numbers. I love his size, 6'6". That would be a dream goaltender that comes in, and this guy has like a Ben Bishop type guy where he just comes in and he's dominant. Bishop, of course, lost out his career to injuries. But if he comes in and he's healthy and he does well, we might have a guy that takes the reins eventually and becomes our #1 goalie. Very possible. All 3 of them could be. Really, Levi, Portillo, UPL could all be our #1 goalie in the future. But I'm very open-minded also to getting a veteran goalie to break the kids in. I am very open-minded to that, so something we should think about. Now, let's go to another 6'6" guy. Let's look at Owen Power. Okay, there it is. And Owen Power's numbers, as you might recall, you don't see it there, but for Team Canada, in 2 games, he had 3 goals, 2 assists, but of course that's not talked about here. But let's take a look at the Michigan numbers. Now, you got 26 games last year, and this, keep in mind last year's number. Let's look at last year first, okay? Because this is the numbers that he put up where he was ranked to be the top pick in the draft. So 26 games, 3 goals, 13 assists for 16 points, and a plus 18. Very impressive plus 18. This year, in 18 games, he has 3 goals, 20 assists for 23 points, and a plus 12. And you can look at the Chicago Steel numbers. Everything is just good with him. Really, all the numbers are good, solid. I got no problem with no problems that we drafted Owen Power. Let's take a look at the left corner. The height, of course, very impressive. 6'6", 213 pounds. Still a kid at 19 years old. My God, just turned 19, eh? Just turned 19 years old. And there is not much bad to say about Owen Power. Every time we've seen him, he's been impressive. Even when he was on Team Canada in the World Championships not long ago, he looked really, really good. I know he didn't score, but he looked really, really good. I believe he played 10 games. He got 3 assists, but his presence was felt in that tournament. So the only thing we can do now is be patient and wait for these big guys to come up. Now, this is really going to help the Sabres become a bigger team. And again, once we get bigger, stronger, older, as far as I'm concerned, there's a lot of upside to all of that, no matter what's going down right now. So I'm really looking forward to the day where these guys, where I'm seeing after a game, Owen Power and Portillo headbutting each other after a win, after a Sabres win against a team like Boston. It's just a nice vision I have, ahead of time. So I would like to really see when the day comes when these kids are Buffalo Sabres, for sure, and of course be rooting on Michigan to go as far as possible this year, and hopefully we'll get to see some of Power and some of Portillo maybe, I'll say maybe because it's a big maybe, in a Sabres jersey this year, at the end of this year. We'll have to see how everything pans out with schedule and everything and the whole thing the world's in right now. There's just no way to know, But 2 guys, 6'6" in the dressing room entices this fan, folks. It really does. This fan is excited to see some bigger bodies come into that lineup, even if it's goalies and especially defensemen, though. But I like the idea of 2 6'6" guys that are just waiting to be Buffalo Sabres eventually. And I think on that note, folks, I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you in the next video.